Thank you for meeting with us at Salice's 50/50 Youth to learn more about the CCRC. Can you tell me what that is?
The CCRC is Caribbean Child Research Conference. It's an annual conference usually held in Jamaica in November.
Why did you start this Caribbean Child Research Annual Conference?
In 2006, UNICEF approached Salice's and asked us to host a seminar in which they would disseminate the findings, the policy recommendations and findings from their own projects and consultancies. Initially it was supposed to be one day, and then we decided that let's do a call for papers for any child-related research that is out there, and we got enough papers to host a two-day conference. Okay. So since then we have had this two-day conference.
Wow, that's excellent. And I understand that it's a very unique conference because of the people that participate.
We can boast that we are the only conference in the Caribbean where child researchers present their own research that they have carried out and make their own policy recommendations, and they are given equal voice as adult researchers. Okay. And we have, I'll tell you more of what we can boast about. We have a primary level essay competition every year, and children from the primary school write about a relevant topic, and we choose the 10 best essays each year. And for the secondary schools, the child researchers present. There are two aspects of the competition. There's a written form of the competition from which we choose the 10 best essays, and then these two persons would present at the conference, and with the combined scores from the oral and the written submissions, we choose an outstanding child researcher every year.
Wow, that's so exciting. That's an excellent model for youth and child participation.
Yes, we have been applauded for having presented a forum where child participation really takes place.
Wow, that's excellent. And I understand that each year there's a different theme for the conference. What have been some of the past themes?
Yes, well, the broad theme of all the conferences is promoting child rights through research, because we think that through research we can promote child rights. But each year the committee selects a specific theme. We have had themes like 5 years before the MDGs, our children in the Caribbean. We've had building a nation, a region fit for our children, and as you know, we had this year promoting the rights of children with disabilities.
Right, interesting and very relevant themes. And so as you mentioned, this year's theme was promoting the rights of children with disabilities, and this is the 9th staging.
This year was the 9th staging of it.
And so why did you decide this year to focus on children with disabilities?
Incidentally, it was a presenter from the 2013 conference who had presented on children with disabilities, who came to me afterwards and said that she found that there wasn't enough space given to children with disabilities, and we need to have a conference on children with disabilities. There was a little reluctance on the part of the committee because we felt we wouldn't get enough papers, but as you see, we got enough papers to host a conference. But she came up to me and said, we need a conference on children with disabilities, and that's how it came forth. And I'm very grateful that she did that.
Yes, fantastic. I attended the 9th staging this year at the Jamaica Conference Center, and it was very informative. And I learned quite a lot about the context of promoting the rights of children with disabilities. Could you share with us a little bit more about some of the findings from the discussion over the 2 days?
Yes, well, we would say what is positive about what's happening is that there's more policy attention being given to children with disabilities, but we still have some challenges. You know, we have the challenge of diagnosis and treatment of children with disabilities. We have facilities that are highly urbanized and expensive, so access for children from the rural areas is very limited. We have a situation where the mobility of children with disabilities is still not given enough attention, so our children cannot move as freely as they want in the true sense of the participation that we are talking about. So while we have made progress in the legislative framework and in the policy framework, and I think we have done a lot, and the Minister of Education, for his part, has said what the ministry has been doing in terms of ensuring that the teachers are trained to deal with children with disabilities, we still have a lot to do. with them.
Okay, that gives us a very good sense of some of the encouraging practices that are promising, but then also, as you say, we still have some remaining areas of challenges to address. I wondered, I mean, the discussions were based on research that was done by both adults and also child researchers. And I wondered if you could tell me a little bit about who were the outstanding child researchers this year.
Okay, we had, we chose the top 10. And we gave prizes to the first 3. Everybody got a prize, but there were special prizes for the top 3. Incidentally, our outstanding child research for 2014 is Kimisha Ellis from Denby High. She wrote about the stigma attached to children, Rastafarian children. And Denby High has won 4 years in a row. Wow. So we have to find out what's the winning formula. But they take the competition very seriously. In second place, we had a young lady from Barbados. And third place was somebody from Denby too. And papers are all listed in the Facebook and the website that we have.
Okay, fantastic. And what are some of the next steps or recommendations that came out of the conference? Where do we go now?
Well, what we have been thinking more and more is that while we have been making progress in terms of accumulation of policies and legislative pieces, we have a problem of implementation. So there's a big gap between what we promise and what we actually do. And next year we hope to be able to be more concrete and do an assessment of what we have covered in all these policies and that we have put in place since the conference started in 2006.
Right, excellent. So it's been 9 years of solid work and good research.
Good research.
Excellent.
We had 3 peer-reviewed publications, and next year we're going to have something fantastic, hopefully.
Okay,
for
wonderful.
the 10th anniversary.
Yes, so tell me about that. We're going to be celebrating 10 years next year. What can we expect?
Oh, well, we expect to be absolutely fantastic. We want to stretch the conference to 3 days. We need to have a launch of the child-friendly publication of all the papers from the child researchers. We think we have done well with the academic papers, but we definitely want to launch a publication of the children's papers. We want to increase our participation from the Caribbean children, because every year we either have a Trinidadian or a Barbadian. This year we are going to ensure that we have more children, and we want to ensure that it's streamed live across the Caribbean, and ensure that our children who cannot come will be able to listen in to what's happening.
Wow, that's very exciting. So as we prepare for next year, November, for the Caribbean Child Research Conference, 10th anniversary, how can those of us who read this blog find out more about what's coming up and keep in touch with you to find out more?
Yes, well, we have a Facebook page that is active, and we want more persons to like the page. And if you like the page, you'll hear all about what we are doing, and we usually send out a call very early in the new year. And we also have a website. You can just do a Google of Caribbean Child Research Conference, because the website link is so complicated. But if you do that, you'll get the website, and you'll be able to see what has been happening in the previous conferences and what we plan to do for the fantastic 10th anniversary of the conference.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Lee. We are looking forward to liking the Facebook page and also to visiting the website to find out and prepare ourselves for next year, November.
Thank you very much, and see you all at the conference next year.
Thank you.